You look very springy today.
You know, that's funny you say that because I had on a maroon shirt. And I'm like, I look so dull.
That brings more spring.
I'm glad you wore purple.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I'm going to go spring today. I'm going to go purple.
That's funny.
Oh,
Hold up.
I'm running my sweet quad monitors now, so.
Wait, we're up
Four monitors?
Well, because technically I'm running 3 monitors and I have my laptop because that's has my webcam. So now I also have like all of this. Like
seriously, it's like Command Central there.
so I have my laptop sitting on my table next to it. So right now I technically have 4 monitors here.
Right. Hi, everyone. This is Bill Banner with Tech Solutions, and welcome to our Link Live session in our cyber meeting space. With me today is Sarah DeHaan, our Digital Media Director, and also Matthew Tanis, our IT Management Director. Today, we're going to kind of go over a few things as far as how Banatech is continuing to operate, especially since we are a essential services provider. And also just awareness of what the team is doing on the IT side, and then also what the team is doing on the digital marketing side. I'm also going to go over a few things to be aware as far as users out there who are working remotely. We have definitely hyped up our awareness when it comes to our health and all that, and being outside. One thing that a lot of people are forgetting is to make sure you can consistently stay aware on those scammers that are out there. Unfortunately, they're taking advantage of this time, which kind of sucks, but be aware, especially since the government have just passed funds. Scammers are finding ways to go out on a rampage to get people to give out information from social security numbers or banking information, banking routing information, saying that they're from the government, and to get paid, you must give that information to them, which just really sucks. So make sure you kind of pass this on to all your team members or friends or family to be aware of that. Also comes down to emailing as well. There's a lot of fake emails that are happening, especially during this time, as people are sending out emails of GoFundMe pages or support pages, links that unfortunately don't go to those organizations that you do want to support. So just kind of keep aware of that. Everyone is who are working remotely have adapted to the new ways of communicating to teams, utilizing tools that they currently have. If you're a Microsoft user, a lot of companies that we serve have jumped onto Teams for internal communication. Other internal communications that have been used, Slack. We use a program called Discord that allows us to continue to chat and have our live session live stream consistently. One thing to also keep in mind too is that these resources are great. You have to kind of make sure that everyone can use it with ease. We recommend using anything outside for exterior conversations. There's been Zoom, there's been GoToMeeting, WebEx, all of those variety of tools. Zoom is actually free to users up to 40 minutes of teleconferencing. Just kind of be aware of that. Also, for anyone who didn't know, back a few months ago, Zoom app actually, once again, if you're using your mobile device for the teleconferencing, Zoom app actually was providing information data to Facebook. They just recently changed that policy, so hopefully our data is staying protected as much as possible. So that's just something to be aware that those tools are out there. Everyone's using it, but sometimes in the fine print, we're not aware of what they're doing with our information. So let's go over a few outside of what I just talked about. Let's jump over to Matthew on the IT side. Matt, how's the team doing?
So far, honestly, we are working just as I would actually say more effectively now than we were before in some ways. Um, a lot of the work we had to do before was on site, you know, working on server racks, occasionally doing some wiring stuff there. A lot of times I like to be on site just to talk to people, just to have that face-to-face interaction a little bit, be able to talk and such there. But since we're denied that now, a lot of what we're doing is remote. And fortunately for us, we had a standard policy before to have a lot of good remote solutions set in place beforehand anyways. Methods again to servers, networks, interact with the users and things. And so now we're just utilizing all of that full time. And honestly, it's been going absolutely fine. All of our members and such, in the time leading up to the shutdown, a lot of them contacted me, expressing concerns of, how are we going to, get our users to work remotely? How are we going to make sure that they're safe and everything? It's not a problem. We had good solutions for VPNs, terminal servers, cloud space. We had a lot of that set in place beforehand. I think the first couple of days were taken with my time just training users and how to use systems they hadn't used before. But once they got in there, everything's been running absolutely fine. We've had to do remote into a couple of users here and there. We've got software in place to manage all those remote connections, so we haven't had any problem get that done so far. I think in the going on 2 weeks now that we've been working remotely, I've only had to go on site to a location maybe 3 or 4 times in 2 weeks. And that was only for things that I absolutely had to be there just because there was no way to actually do remotely. And I didn't really want to walk someone through on site taking care of it anyways there. So I went on site, got taken care of, and was good to go. When it comes to on-site operations right now, I'm trying to limit who actually does it. So for instance, I'm essentially, if I can, I'm just sending one tech out to deal with things there and making sure that they properly clean when they're going between sites and such. Mainly so that honestly, if one tech is taken down, then we can switch to another one then, because I don't want to get to the point there where everyone's sick at the same time and we can't service people. So for the time being right now, we're alternating out a little bit just to make sure that if anyone is exposed, it's not going to be all at the same time. But more so, again, I'm cleaning people. I'm making sure that we are practicing safe habits there and cleaning and such in between sites, because honestly, on some level, we have to acknowledge that it's people like us that can potentially spread the infection because we're the ones that are going between different sites in there. And so I'm trying to limit that as much as we possibly can. I don't want to go to one client or member and then go to another one after that and keep going down the line and spreading as we go there. That's the absolute last thing that we want. So everything that we're doing remotely, we can like we're taking care of remotely. If we have something to take care of, we're letting people know well ahead of time, and we're making sure that we're exercising proper caution in there as well along the entire way.
Absolutely. Great information. And I know the techs are equipped with at least gloves and masks if they need it. That's just something that we consistently want to make sure that they best practice. So thank you, Matthew, for enforcing that. I know for most cases, anyone we do go out and service, that if we have to, we always kind of ask, make sure that you're okay to, as a technician, to ask for, the 6 feet radius, keep your equipment as clean as possible. So, those best practices, we don't want to just assume that you're doing it. We want to be forward with that information. So thanks, Matthew, for that. So great. Let's jump over to Sarah and see how marketing strategies are being put in place.
Awesome. Yeah, so basically the same thing as Matt, except a lot of our work we can just do remote. So we've been utilizing Zoom a ton, just meeting with people and making sure that their websites are up to date and all their design work can be seen through Zoom. And just kind of emailing back and forth. Constant communication is key, and we have always done that. And we're going to continue to do that throughout this whole next month, or as long as we need to. So as far as how things are going, things are no different than they were before. We're functioning perfectly fine. We're just kind of focusing on what exactly do we need to be saying to the public from, the perspective of each different client that we work with. So everyone has something different to say about what's happening. So it's just kind of sticking with what they know and marketing how they need it to be marketed on social media, through email blasts, whatever they need to do.
Fantastic. Is there anything that they should be aware of? Any tips, any hashtags to kind of keep in mind?
Yeah, so I kind of wrote down a few hashtags that I've been aware of and that clients have really been pushing on, especially Twitter and Instagram. So I don't know if anyone wants to write them down, but I'll go slow enough so that you can write. So hashtag stay home is the top right now, and quarantine and chill. So I don't know if that could be anything. That could be according to work. It could be quarantine and chill. We think of Netflix and chill. So that's like the other big one. C10, do 10. That's those challenges that are happening that you see on your Instagram. A lot of someone shouts out to a friend, hey, do 10 push-ups, and then you take your other friends in that post. Hashtag community, hashtag awareness, hashtag safe hands. So you've seen a lot of nurses posting like hashtag stay home, stay safe versus stuck at home. So we're trying to kind of get out there in a positive note versus something like hashtag quarantine scary. This isn't a scary time. This is just a different time that we're facing. That's kind of hashtags that I found have been really helpful for clients.
Awesome. So one thing I'm going to ask you guys, just to at least give your feedback on how things are working for you at home. What does it feel like since it's been changed? Matt, you kind of talked about, part of our program is really kind of being face-to-face as an IT manager and, providing long-term, thoughts and solutions. That kind of seemed to definitely shifted for us. But how are you as an individual who is kind of a mixed breed between being an introvert and an extrovert? How do you continue handling this type of situation?
For me, it's a little bit of a shift. To be fair, the first actual corporate job I had was work from home. And at the time, I managed it just fine. I'm in a different position now just because I'm used to going out and seeing people. I mean, it's a common thing for me. Like, I'll go to a lot of members, even if there isn't necessarily an issue, just to kind of do a walk around and check in on people because I like that face-to-face interaction. I like when people can come up to me, just talk about things that are going on there. Maybe if they have a problem, they can quick mention to me as I'm walking by, and I've gotten used to that now. So it's a little bit of an adjustment not having that face-to-face interaction, but that's part of the reason too that I've been kind of buckling down, and I've been making sure my team is buckling down as well on just our communication. I've just been I try to every day just reach out to a few people here and there, check in how they're doing. I make sure that my team and I are talking literally all day, every single day while we're at work as well, just so that we still get that feeling that we're part of a team. Otherwise, it's really easily to feel isolated otherwise. You're working on your computer, there's no noise, you're not talking to your team at all, you don't see them at all, aside from occasionally, like shared emails or like tickets for us there, we wouldn't even really interact with them other than like through chat a little bit here. So we put tools in place there so that we can talk all the time because, again, I want to make sure everyone still feels that they're part of a team. They're still getting that interaction. And it's important for me too. I mean, again, like I'm an IT guy, but I'm still a people person. I like to be able to talk to people and spend time around them and such there. So, and again, this is going to be going on for a long time. So it's not just like, oh, well, we'll just tough it out for, a week or two, then we'll be good. No, there's a possibility this could go on for a long time. And so I'm making sure that we're putting policies and procedures in place and tools in place that can reflect and make sure that we can go for a long time if we have to.
Right. Yeah, I actually we had our meeting earlier and I talked to our web developer, and asked him, how would you feel when this is all over, it's time to kind of come back to the office? Would you actually prefer staying home or would you come back to the office? And he actually wants to come back to the office. So that's kind of great to hear, especially from his perspective as a web developer. If anyone knows what those guys can do and those individuals, they prefer the solitude so they could just focus on their work. But I'm kind of amazed on his answer, and I was very proud that he was definitely wanting to come back. So that's good news for me. I was like, oh, I'm going to lose my team to this remote side, virtual side, but no, it's not the case. But how about you, Sarah? I mean, how are you kind of dealing with this, and how do you kind of give your insights to other digital media marketers?
Yeah. So for me personally, y'all know that I'm an extreme extrovert, so this has been hard. I was actually on vacation and came back to a Michigan that was shut down, which was interesting to come home to. So I kind of had to switch my brain over to say, okay, this is going to be something that I need to work on. But the one thing for me personally that I do, I don't know if this will help anybody, but I never eat breakfast, without getting like ready for the day. That's been super helpful for me because it would be super easy to sit around in pajamas or whatever, and not really get into your workday. But I've always been that way, that I need to get up, get ready, and get my workday started just the way I would do it in any normal life. Even with a 2-year-old home with me, the husband randomly coming in and out, it's still so important for me to just keep my day as is. Another thing, from a digital marketing perspective, I think just staying on task has been huge for me. So we have the tools in place with Banditech that we have, a task list that says, these are the 7, 8, 9, 25 projects that we have that we're working on. Now, how are they doing? How's our progress happening? And like Matt was saying, the communication is just key for my team. So talking with a developer, graphic designer, whoever I need to talk with, that communication, like he was talking about, is just so key in what we do.
Awesome. Well, perfect. Thank you for your information. Next video, we're going to hopefully have a guest, Vortec Communications, who is a voice over IP vendor, local vendor that we've worked with before. Our role as IT manager is to request for proposals on any type of solution, including voice over IP. They manage to consistently get awarded on projects when it comes to phones and telecommunication. So we're going to have them next time as a guest speaker to talk about how voice during this time has been so crucial in the communication aspect, especially being able to have a true voice over IP where you could literally take your handset from your office to your home, or take your phone calls all on your smartphone and not worry about giving away your personal phone number or anything like that, or have to worry about calling the phone provider to forward your number. So I'm looking forward to that. Other things to look forward to is just our constant information around cybersecurity. So again, make sure you pass on to your team members that hopefully you're staying in communication with them and help them continue the awareness of how scammers are using this time to continue doing what they do. And it's just unfortunate, but we have to just step up our game even more as we work remotely from home. So till next time, thank you, Matt. Thank you, Sarah, for your time to join us. We'll be back again. Have a good day, everyone, and welcome to Banditech Link Live.